Okay. Should be live. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I think we're live. Let's check. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we're definitely live. Let's enter the let everyone know I'm live streaming. And then we'll hop into it. Let's send the notifications. Let's let Discord know. Quite the pre-market action. Quite pre-market action, my friends. It's kind of wild. Despite the massive moves in the after hours, there's not a lot on my gap scanner. For yesterday, it looks like Trump made some comments and accelerated the bounce that we got off the lows in the after hours. But even with, I mean, a lot of this stuff just looks outright bearish. You know, Nvidia is starting to turn. I mean, it's testing this EMA convergence here. We still got a half hour towards the open, and this looks very bearish to me. A gap down, we fill the gap, and then get a denial into the pre-market. It's turning yesterday's support into some resistance from the looks of it. China just made some bearish comments though, so be mindful of that. Let's see where it's. Yeah, so VIX almost taps 30. It's always annoying when it does that in the overnight. Because my VIX calls would have been up massive. Luckily, we took a lot of profits for above 50%. Oh, Bitcoin broke 107. It's at 105. It's not bouncing with the market. Ethereum gave up 4,000. Okay. I might be tempted to buy some crypto. I'm max loaded in Ethereum at like 2,200. But I might buy some Subi today. Just kind of slow by on the way down. Huckle looks really good. First step in a continuation. It's right back below that key level. Got Ally and Jeff as top names here this morning. Actually, let's leave that. Big bounce from Jeff. High or low? That's not very interesting to me. Ally with a big bounce. Nice setup here on RVMD. Might try to hump to fill the 57. Lunar's top name here. Does not look good. TTM is positive on the weekly. I just want to run through some of these pre-market movers on the scanner, but I think I already know what we mainly want to play today. Oh, this is really interesting setup. There's a lot of biotech companies doing the same thing, similar things at least. SDA a priority. Really nice triple top there that's breaking out and looking for a gap fill to 100. You know, my whew, someone's up big. Someone's got 2,000 of the 75 calls for November, but nothing on the options. So if you want to play it, you got to play it with shares. Look at JBS. No. Dan. No. Owner of the holding company with the majority position in here is finally out of their shares because they've been trying to unload this for a while, and it's been keeping the price suppressed comparative to the other SMR companies. It doesn't have as good of a downside setup as a lot of names, honestly. Rolls Royce just looks strong. This could break back under yesterday's lows. I think it's probably gonna be top watch for me. That's just to the daily support here. 4 hours definitely bearish here. Hmm. Serve failed to fill the gap. Rolled over. Yikes. You know, a lot of these pre-markets just look like we've given the RSIs more room to sell. All right, let me get this written up for Discord members. Abraham, you there? You pull yourself up on stage. We're live on the socials. If you've got any stocks you like, make sure actually we're picking up the desktop audio for you for your commentary. Oh, and I should be watching the live chat on X.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sad.
What did you hear me that we're live across all the socials, first of all? Before you say any
Yeah,
personal
I
information.
was talking about the market.
Okay, what
I
are
was
you?
sad that it bounced back.
Yeah.
I was hoping we were gonna open deep red.
Did you see Vix? Oh, Vix hit almost 29.
I know, but
I
it doesn't
know.
matter if it does it overnight when I'm asleep.
I know. Those would have been up. Yeah, if it had done that during the open,
Yeah, it would have been.
I probably would have unloaded all the VIX calls
Would
into
have, could have, should
that.
have. What?
Now it's going to be down slightly for us, but even still above 23, you're still at like a good acceleration point. I think.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens today. They could open this thing up and just start the selling all over again. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's weird. Normally, when you get that down big after a day that closes down, usually I would have expected the market to open down 80 and just kind of slowly grind it out down all day.
It's controlled selling. Yeah, because honestly, after hours move, that's not retail. Buying it up in the pre market. It's broad buying. It's a substantial gap down too. I'm just surprised like MST buying MSTR here doesn't make much sense. Bitcoin's below a major key level. Testing the next one, take out 105, then you just start hunting for 100 to 89, 98. It's going up so far. So I think I want 1843. Let me write up the daily focus. Yeah, I mean it's still that's honestly a really nice hidden bearish divergence here. I'm gonna give this a grade A, I think. You break through there, it's an EMA support, it's a major key level. You've got you've got pretty nice confluence. You don't have the best triggers, but it's really close. So that if you get that key level break, that's when you should start to see really great confluence. So I definitely want this to be a top watch. Yeah, a lot of the banks were bouncing today. I'm gonna set the alert here on this one. Let's do the 65-minute for NVIDIA. Man, what like a clean trend line here being formed. And here's the other one. Here's the major support. This on the daily. Your daily hasn't cracked. So which 4 hour is trying to be supportive here? 65-minute. Clearly bearish still. 15-minute clearly bearish still. Here, but it could get a breakout. Yeah, I think I try this under 177. It's so if you get back down there below the weekly low, you should just fill. You should at least get the fill to the pre-market low. I'm gonna give this a lower grade because it's probably a better setup under a little bit lower than that. China foreign ministers met on Friday. World Bank must end support for China. Oh my gosh. Headlines upon headlines. Germany president says gold remains an anchor of trust. The Bundesbank president. The WTO chief says any US China decoupling would lead to fragmentation of trade and could reduce global GDP by up to 7% on a longer term basis. EU offers to buy US weapons for Ukraine using Russia's foreign assets. Jeez. Yeah, you know, what's this on the 4 hour? We've broken this support multiple times, but just keep reclaiming it. It's honestly, just looking at this 4 hour, it's honestly a really good short setup. It looks like a clear break. Maybe you get some sort of bad test in the continuation, or if you just fire back through the upside of this. I do want to These miners are holding their premiums so well. Despite Bitcoin getting wrecked and looking crazy bearish. Actually, did the weekly break here? We're not. We're still not negative on the TTM. We're negative on the 2-day though. So you're a major support for the monthly. Whew, if you break that 98 and you don't hold it, it's gonna get ugly for Bitcoin. Might have to take a moment today and see what speculation is on at what price MSTR is a solvency risk. Getting nuked. Whew, spot palladium extends losses down to 1,500 per ounce, down nearly 5%. PALL getting hit by that.
Yeah, it's down like $7.
Oh my gosh, you overshot my target by $2 though here. Are you still on your long calls here?
For Palladium, in covered calls that expire today at the 140 are my shorts.
And you have some longer dated leaves? Okay, because I think you got a wave 4 here and
I
then a wave 5
covered.
higher.
I covered. No, I covered when we got up to 145. I think the only thing left longer term is like just the call spread, and that's in March of next year. Other than shares and covered calls,
Okay.
which 140 honestly not bad because that means all that premium is going to expire totally worthless today if we can close around here, and I'll get to roll and show Abraham how to roll call out for the next month
For
for a covered
sure.
call.
Oh, by the way, the guy talking for those on the live stream, his name is Abe, and he's one of the lead traders here with a major focus on option selling. And it's his son that we gave 50,000 to and have a YouTube show called Noobs because his username is just a name trader. So he gave his son $50,000 and he's teaching him how to trade those. So we do was actually did the episode go up yesterday?
Did what go up?
Did the next episode go out yesterday? You
Oh,
filmed it on
I
Wednesday, right?
I don't believe it did.
Oh, okay.
It was a long one. It was like over an hour long, and I haven't even started editing it. That's what I was gonna do this morning because he doesn't get home for a couple more hours, so I was gonna
Okay.
work on that. And I bought another iPad because we just couldn't figure out how to get the emulator to work ever since Schwab bought Toss. So we're just gonna screen mirror and use a different device. So it should be easier to read with the mobile device.
You're using an emulator so you can use the app on desktop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I had been
That is
using an Android
so
emulator.
goofy.
Well, it worked better. It's easier for newer people to read because the emulator or the desktop version doesn't color code your wins and your losses. Like your P&L is not green or red. So just visually, for someone that's learning, the color behind it is a huge help, I think. It just brings attention to certain numbers in different ways that makes it easier for us more challenged people to learn. I think. Not only that, it doesn't have like 70% of the extra stuff that I really don't use. but I don't know that it'll be delivered by 1 o'clock when we make our video or noon or whatever. So it might have to be for next week. We'll see.
It's actually crazy how strong these Bitcoin miners are. They do have all similar like J2 continuation setups though. So we got 8 minutes until the open here. Yeah, 1944. That's what I want to try. 128. You're about to have a pretty big breakdown there. Oh, Adobe. Oh. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, that's a massive key level. It broke it yesterday, and got held under. And now this pre-market bounce is really weak. Bounce just right back to the bearish EMA. Okay. Six minutes here. Let's get that posted. Honestly, these pre-market setups don't look that great. Let's go ahead and swap some of this out for stuff that looks like higher priority. ABGO doesn't look like a good setup for longs. If I wanted to play something long, I'd probably keep an eye on AMD, but it needs to reclaim 240 before I want to take a long. It doesn't look good right here. So let's get Mara here. And let's get Microsoft here. I've got to fix another screen. All right, let's see if we can get back to 148 for Oklo. Actually, before the open, do you want to look at this one more time? I'll add an alert here. That 65 minute actually looks really supportive here. I wonder if it does for Oklo as well. It's a lot weaker on Oklo. A lot weaker. Right into that bullish EMA on the 65 minute and then gets a denial. The bearish trend is fully intact. Close this and then how do I see the chats for if I click this link? Can I see the chat? Oh, that's how I see the chats. Oh, okay. I'll be watching that on it. All right. We got 2 minutes till the open. We've got a few names in focus here. Oklo looks really nice for the extension. I'm probably gonna feel out. Be pretty. I think off the open here. What's most interesting is probably Microsoft on this breakdown, and then Mara and QUBT probably the cleanest setups. And then with Adobe, I kind of want to see if Adobe could test 329 and turn. So maybe creep its way up here and then get a nice turn. But if there's a solid downside move right off the open, I might be tempted to try some. With Adobe, this is a massive key level that we've now broken under. So this really just clean triangle setup, and you're breaking to the downside here. So there's like 3/16 next support, but next major minor support, next major support's all the way back in the upper 200s. And I'm very fundamentally bearish as well, so I got strong bias, downside convictions. Let's set another word on Bitcoin if we can get under this local low. Big buying on Microsoft. Big buying on Mara. What? I had an alert 7 CCJ here that just went off. It's retracing off the open. What? I might try to take a stab at this. Holy cow. CCJ spreads are awful. Maybe I won't take that. Need some bids up here. Let's make sure AMD doesn't fall off the radar. I should come right before that high. Let's just glance at the heat map real quick. My gosh. Oracle leading the way. Interactive brokers getting bodied. Why failing? MSTR getting bid up. Bitcoin still at 105. Not good influence on the 15 and 65 minute. Makes it a little harder to enter SPY. So gotta let that 15-minute candle set up here before I take anything in that. Ooh, it might be a tougher Friday. Honestly. From the way this is opening. Let's actually look at it's looking fine. Jeff also looking fine. There he is. Selling off again. So it looks a lot weaker. It is a major key level. Contracts look here. See if I can get filled on some 55 puts for 85 cents. Really small position. Weeklies. I'll go back testing. First 15-minute. All right. This might be the upside to play. All right. Adobe came at this. It's getting a denial. Got a full turn on the 5-minute here. Yeah, filled on the carry for a small position. So since I'm not playing this, since the spreads are awful, let's get that up here and keep an eye on it. I don't have the trigger on Microsoft quite yet. You could take it early, and then if you break 506, size up. Your stop's pretty tight. I would just stop over this pre-market high here, 510. I'm just gonna wait. MSTR bouncing big time. Well, they're betting on the Bitcoin recovery. I might buy some more puts. Honestly, this looks awful still. Like really awful. How's my put roll doing? We're still at 25%. Still up on SPY puts. Still up really nicely on Oklo puts. Nothing looks that interesting to me. What do you think, Abe? Anything looks that interesting to you here? What are you watching?
Nope, just in a holding pattern. I'm waiting. I'm watching
Yeah.
uh, the VIX to see if this thing's going to confirm that we're going to rally or if we're just going to sell it right back off.
QUBT starting to break down. So maybe I'll try to fill this out. The spreads actually aren't that bad. I'm gonna try to feel it out. I'm gonna chase this. I'm gonna come in smaller. I got filled at 90 cents for the 17 put for next week. Actually, tell me. So RGTI is actually leading the downside though. Gold having a big retracement into this pop. Silver still holding up very well. Everything across the board still has like a 15-minute breaking down and a 65 that's still in recovery mode for as far as like momentum indicators go. You're buying November 160 calls on PAL. Microsoft getting a nice continuation here. I almost want to buy some MP calls. Show me some more. That thing just needs a little bit, just a tad bit more time. Microsoft though. I'm gonna try some lottos on Microsoft. I'm gonna try some daily puts here. I'm gonna take a small size. And then if we could break that 506, I'll put on some weeklies for a real position. Uh,
Josh, we're getting the confirmation that we're gonna go lower here. Look at the VIX; it's right back up to all-time high, or not all-time highs, but highs from yesterday,
yeah, but I'm looking
and
at
we're rolling over.
look how pumped the SPY contracts are right now. I was looking at setting up some SPY puts, but look at those premiums.
Yeah,
Holy,
they're juiced. I
they're
just want a little
fucking
bit of some
juice.
follow through.
The implied volatility's got to be nuts here.
I just hit 25 in the VIX again.
Oh, that's nice. Small account has a lot of VIX. We're back up 50% on the VIX then. Almost 60%. Into this Oklo bounce, these Oklo puts are up. Still 34% here. Looks like MSTR got a denial too. These buyers, man, they don't want it to go down. They are aggressive, but this thing just keeps looking awful. You know what's most serendipitous here? just looking big picture for anyone on the live stream, and after I make this comment, I'll watch chat, see if there's any tickers people want to look at. But retail bought this, right? They beat hedge funds to these lows, and they were the first to buy, and then funds chased. Wouldn't be surprising if retail's been trained to buy the dip so much they keep buying this stuff. You see a major breakdown, maybe all the way to 6,000, and then after retail getting burned is then scared to buy the dip, and funds come in, get their revenge, and buy that low, and then ride this thing all the way to 7,500, and then retail's the one once again chasing. That would be a very common storyline. Okay, what is going on with Oakville? Because these premium moves don't make any sense. Are the spreads stupid right here? They're pretty stupid right here. They've widened out considerably. They're buying it back up. What is my... Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to do the same as you. This VIX is up 60% here. I'll go ahead and close the rest of this, take profits, because we got enough downside.
I'm going to leave on the ones further out of the money.
Buying start to
I'm
accelerate
still not
here.
convinced.
I'm not either. I mean, you're not even reversing the 15-minute into this.
Mhm.
This is a story we've seen plenty of times. They try to buy up this pre-market and then it just fails. I would prefer it fail a little bit sooner than this. You know, you bought that PALL with time, and I don't hate the idea. Oops. I think he just needs to retrace more. Just be mindful. I see like at best only more 3.1 points of downside, but potentially another 11 before this thing continues higher. Because that was... They put me flat on QUBT here. I thought that KRE entry would be worse than it's looking right now. It's fine so far. Microsoft Lottos aren't playing out, but that's okay. I let the Lotto sit for now. It is reversing the 15-minute here. You might come all the way to 512 before you roll back over, honestly. They're trying to flip that on the spy. There might.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have to be in them right this second. Intel just had a decent sized move.
Down 7%.
What just happened? And look at Intel, Josh. Look at that move over the last 1 minute. Something happened. News. Something.
Ooh.
My P&L just totally reversed big time. That's a big position for me. Market just ripped through. We're about to test the 15-minute right here. We just tested it and broke through it. This don't look weak no more. Cut my futures.
I bought a small starter on Intel.
I don't know what happened in there. That was weird. That was quite the move.
I'll keep an eye on it.
I'm taking I'm buying some AMD end of days. Some lottos.
I don't hate that either. It's still not quite. Oh, you know what? I will buy it for sure though. I'm gonna swing some MP calls.
Just gonna see if I can get a little momentum. Real small though.
And then let me look at NP weeklies. I bought NP November 21st calls. Way out the money. That's this thing tested prior double top. Does look really good. And now it's kind of getting a really nice ball through here. I wonder actually here. $87's doable and cheap. Wow. You don't want to sell me the daily 87s for 50 cents, really? There you go. Yeah, you do. Someone's watching the stream. Thanks for that. Let's try it out. Let's feel it out. Holy crap.
Yeah, Intel's getting some follow through here.
Yeah, Intel's getting some great follow through right here. And honestly, quick profits on the weeklies like that make me kind of interested in potentially some profit taking. It's pretty extended here. Like real, it's extremely extended on the 15-minute. He's still bearish. QUBT still clearly bearish. How far they bid up MSTR? Not yet. I set an alert here. If they want to bounce MSTR back into the 290s without Bitcoin, getting a reclaim of 110, I will short this again. 100%. I mean, the bounce here makes no sense. Maybe it got low enough that Sailor actually started buying stock again, but I doubt it. They're supposed to be buying stock if it gets low enough, but we'll see if they actually do. I think that's how they get murdered, is they start buying their stock and it just keeps going down. And the market turns against them. Their Bitcoin goes down and their stock goes down. I think it's the relationship of their Bitcoin holdings to their stock actually that triggers the buy. So if Bitcoin falls with the stock, I don't think they ever buy the stock. Now that I think about it.
I forget those lottos.
You already got out?
Yeah.
They're lottos, man. You're supposed to just let them run. You only
No way, man.
you spin
It's
when you're going to
starting
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're being
I did, but I kept half of it.
Being too flippy floppy. Where? I didn't bring my coffee into the office. For like a half hour into the day, the only thing I bought with Sai so far is the MP November contracts. This big confluence to the downside. So I'll swap focus from AMD to NVIDIA here.
That was a failed break.
On
The S&Ps of the 15-minute.
Yeah, I mean you never reversed the 10-minute or the 15-minute into that move. I mean, I feel like actually, if this were inverted and I saw that, I'd be buying calls here. So maybe I should be
I
buying
mean, it
puts
was a
here.
failed break of that level from yesterday.
Like if I
So
saw,
you see, there's
yeah, if you invert that chart,
yeah,
that was if that was a spike lower that got bought up like that. But I don't like it yet. There's
let's
not
see.
really good complete. What's the VIX doing? Is VIX rallying with it?
It was. It's just really choppy. I feel like I'm just chopping myself up. I should just take a chill pill.
Yeah.
'Cause now it's right back up. It's all over the place.
I I'm tempted to just get the win on the board for the Intel here, up 20%, and when it's so far extended, I feel like this thing's gotta get a big dip. I shouldn't say big. Get a reasonable back test. It'll give me a better entry. Let's get the win. Let's get the win on the board and sell into the strength here. Got 21% on that.
I need 36 November, 36 March.
KRE now giving me some pain. But I'm gonna let those weeklies on KRE get a day to breathe because it just looks like a back test. So I think there's good potential we'll roll over. I like my deltas here. I have some small cap longs, some mineral longs, and then I'm short speculative names and some tech. So I like the way the portfolio looks here. There's nothing on Adobe. I'm gonna bid it up again though. I'll watch AMD. Let's check on the small account here. I let this last bit of Oclo push just run, honestly. We're up so much on this name. And we're still up here like really nicely. We're even still up on MSTR, and they bid that up pretty aggressively here. Part of that just must be the premiums ran up a ton. I might go ahead and
I'm doing a bad job of editing this software or editing this video.
I should do a little bit of risk management in this small account. Though in some sort of way. I think what I close is we'll close some of these spy put profits. Wow, what is the lag on my TradingView application? So small caps are still leading. This looks it's the beginning of the month. Let's shorten this time frame up a little bit. Hmm. I will be buying some Enphase calls soon. Not yet, I guess. But it's tempting to just start a position here. But I'll try to be a little bit more patient. Wait till I get some better confirmations. Ah, shit. I probably should have closed. I have some Adobe puts that were up nicely this morning. Maybe I should have closed those because they expired today. I ain't holding them honestly. This thing still hasn't reclaimed anything that would resemble bullish. So maybe we'll get a dump near the end of the day. I mean, to probably do need to roll my put exposure though. But I think I'll wait. Doesn't look like it's gonna be a payday Friday. These moves suck. They're not even bidding it up enough for me to try to short pops. Is this all the bulls got? Come on, bulls. Thought you said none of this matters. Bid it up, right? So where you at? Because you're putting me to sleep. No. I heard me. Gonna break that top. That intraday top. Develop a continuation. Probably should be responsible and take a look at this. Oklo. Just got solid recovery on it. Was this like big EMA support on the daily? It was. Abe, if Oklo bounces much more than this. I think we've loaded up the puts again. If I had larger put position, I might even buy some short-term calls into that break over that pre-market high. I mean, what do those go for right now? Are they priced for perfection? Oh, whoops, I'm gonna have November's. Whoo-wee. You can sell 250s for $7 in November here. It's not as good as it was at the highs when you sold calls, but it looks pretty good. I mean, shit. You could sell 30 points out the money for $4 here.
Man, I have played everything exactly wrong today. Couldn't have done it worse if I tried. Like the AMD call that I bought is now printing. Got out of that. My VIX calls, got out of them, got back into them. I took my profits initially, then got back into them and gave most of the profits back. I tried to short the ES. That didn't work. Like, I'm just done. This is awful. Like, short term trading is not for me. I should just stick to what I know. I'm buying more palladium calls. That's what I'm going to do.
I would be cautious. Spot Palladium is like tanking right now. Hard. And this thing looks like it's got catch up to do. Honestly. Yeah. Honestly. What a weekly. Oh, you can't buy weekly puts.
Somehow I'm still making money in spite of myself. Thank goodness I'm good enough that I can beat myself when I beat myself. Look at AMD. Look at this thing.
This
We should have
thing,
got long.
PILL moved 50% in 2 months and they still haven't added more strikes. Why? Or more expirations? That's so lame. Stupid expensive. It's tempting to go ahead and try it. The spreads are too wide though. I'm too bullish on it. Intel just continuing the run. It's running stupid hot. Oh, that's right. It's a big option expiration day. That explains some of the shit moves.
All right. Good enough. Good enough.
Gotta let these option positions unwind and then dump it Monday.
I'm going to go ahead and finish with this. Finish with this. Editing. Let me go ahead and work on the audio. Audio. What am I supposed to click on audio again? Enhanced voice. Reduce noise.
Crushing gold and crushing silver right now.
Isolate voice.
Oh, the market's being mean.
Market's being mean.
I mean, everyone who chased too hard on those puts and was long the minerals, they're getting bodied both ways right now. Honestly, I got some stuff that's doing some bleeding, but I was majorly cash into today, so it's pretty minimal. Honestly, the small account is just flat. it's net short. So these balances aren't really doing much. Look, I'm still up on most of my puts here. We're still up 22% on the Oakla puts. Still up on my MSTR puts. I'm up on Carvana puts, but that might not be real. All right, CRM is kind of pulling back here. See, that's behavior I prefer to see. Ew. I hate that setup here. I mean, overall, this is pretty strong on the short term here. Really nice prolonged consolidation. I don't know. It's failing on the breakouts though. I don't think really the market really believes all the guidance they gave. When is this earnings? It's not until December. Ugh, today is so much more boring than I expected.
All right, so I'm getting ready to, as soon as this voice enhancement gets done, I'm going to get this video out there. It ended up being 45 minutes. I had to cut out all the profanity that you guys added to it for color.
Profanity is good.
Not when I'm designing it towards a younger audience.
It's not what. Okay. What do you think? Teenagers are watching.
That's fine. If you want to corrupt,
are watching. They're watching.
If you want to corrupt the youth,
and Andrew Tate, they're not watching your option show.
That's fine if they want to watch that, but they're not going to hear it from me.
The whole reason that show is interesting is because your 18-year-old is actually showing an interest in options. What the heck is Bitfarms?
I think we can make it interesting and try and reduce the amount of.
If it wasn't that much, geez, it's not.
When you printed money, I think there was a sling of about 14 different colorful words all in a row.
That does ring true to my ear, but Because we did make a lot of money yesterday. And every time I look back at the market, I was like, holy crap, we made more? Honestly, that's probably what's going on today. The market was like, okay, you had your fun. Let's give you some pain. Let's make sure you're still humble.
We are right back at that level where I decided that I'm going to stop messing around, and now we're right back through it. Thing is just chop, chop.
Chop, chop.
The VIX is slowly grinding lower, though, so.
Chop, chop, city. Chop, chop, city.
Yeah, VIX made new lows. Let's see if it's going to take over and get back at the it's right now. That thing.
I'm going to add to the carry puts just a little nibble. As we get a little signs of weakness here. Make sure Discord knows it's just a tiny add. Tiny add to an already small position. I'm feeling them out. Sometimes you just got to put a position on and just see how it feels. Got to give some time and feel it out. You bought bull call? What's going on there? Because there is some massive selling there. I'm interested in that. You're just buying it because it's cheap?
Yeah, I'm building a position in the 15 calls in January. Slowly.
Damn, they really.
I've been buying a few each day.
They've been bodying this thing. Oh my word. It is ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I would want reclaim 12 and I might get interested, because I do see here that they don't want to go much lower than this. However, if this thing went to 7, I would definitely. If it went to like 7, 8, I would just start slinging some calls there with time. Honestly, you're probably fine too. Okay, wait a second. What do those sell for? Are those stupid cheap? What are
the ones I'm buying?
Yeah, what are those?
Like $1.40.
I wonder what Marches go for. What are you buying? What strike?
The 15s in January.
I don't hate that.
Wait, why does it say I need to join Pro? I'm already a Pro member. Am I not logged in?
Are you talking about CapCut?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it just always says that.
Oh, sign in. I gotta sign in. No, because it wasn't letting me export the file with all the Pro edits.
22. 5 by 11. Down almost 4% on the day.
What the heck?
250. There is a crazy bearish skew in bull here. Wait, let me do the math. Yeah, 255. And 3, we'll do rough guesstimate 318. $11.32. I don't know. These options are. So the March contracts for next year are pricing in a 50% move. So that's a 5-point move. That's probably undervalued here.
How do I log out now that I've logged in? Because it's not recognizing my pro.
Oh wait, I look right there. Reclaim 12. I do like that. I do like that idea. Marius down 4%. Sounds down 4%. RKT is down at 16. TEM getting hit. Tesla up 2%. STS not getting a bounce here. Reclaim 87.55. I'll get interested. Let's actually add some alerts on this. I'll short it under. I'll short it if it gets under here. I'll long it if it gets over here. Man, GEV. There's a lot of Discord members that hold this one. Like a lot. Hey now, that looks great.
Hey now, hey now.
That looks like a classic bull flag. Actually, tell me 10-year reclaim 4%. Ooh, ew. When's earnings on this? It's next week. And it's failing to break down on this. Holy crap. Yikes. Abe, if I were. Okay. Here's a sell idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell weekly puts. So GEV testing the bottom of this bull flag here into earnings on the 22nd. And you could sell the weekly puts here.
Not selling weekly puts in a $600 stock.
I mean, you could sell strangles in it if you want, because you can go 50 points out of the money and get $7 for it. Actually,
Yeah, there's a reason you can go 50 points out of the money and get $7 for it.
Yeah, that thing's priced. Holy crap. I was interested in maybe buying some calls on it, but honestly, the premiums aren't the problem. The problem is that liquidity is trash. But you take smaller positions, it'd be fine for you. Boy, I think you're getting compensated for that risk, though. My gosh, they need more participants and bring that market down a bit. That thing is, those premiums are freaking nuts. Oh, and Intel doing a nice pullback here. The bullish JMA got more extended than I expected. But I could be convinced to buy a dip here. MP pulling it back a little bit too, but it looks fine. Oh, it's like down 2% on the swings. Pullbacks here do not look bearish. Man, I say that, but this 15-minute TTM on a lot of names. It says this bounce does not have legs. You know, and some of our runner names never got over that pre-market high either. What a bummer. Well, it's 9:33. So I'm probably gonna end the stream. Sorry guys, it was a slow day, but you kind of got to play what you're dealt. Big Oxford expiration day. Market makers, it's their day today. It's their day to chop it up, make their money. Important to understand how they make money. And they're making a lot of money today. So we did very little. Only took one meaningful position and managed some existing positions that we came into the day with. And honestly, if I wanted to take SPY short, I'd probably just wait for 658 to break again. And just be aware also how high those premiums were, because that's enough to keep me away. Honestly, how inflated those premiums were. When those premiums are that inflated, in fact, what you can do is you can actually sell and then buy VIX calls to hedge during like the April lows. That was, well, during the April lows, I was actually buying even though it was stupid high. And then I was shorting the VIX and buying strangles, and I was freaking printing on all three all three parts of that play, which is not supposed to work. I've never done that before, but the April was crazy. All right, if buyers can step in right about here, this is where I would look to maybe get back into Intel here soon. Let's take my gosh, it looks like a bull flag. It looks like a crazy bull flag there. Oh wow, Intel's actually getting kind of expensive for the January contracts. Holy shit, there's some crazy open interest on this. There's 115,000 $40 calls on this market right now for Intel. Hmm. Just for the Januaries, by the way, the January 40 calls. I don't think I haven't seen. That might be the most open call I've ever seen on Intel. AMD's breaking critical support here. Uncle's failing to bounce pretty hard here. KRE needs under the low a day for a nice continuation, but it looks the downside still looks very much alive. MP looks fine so far. I'm kind of interested. What do you own long dated for Intel? What's you said you had huge positions? Where those in? Where those at? I'm eyeing
Just
this.
shares. I've covered calls in there at this point.
Oh, okay. Your shares cover calls. I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eyeing some 50s for January. I really don't want to swing anything yet. That's far though. Yeah, let's zoom in on this. We get a nice rounded bottom yet. All right. Let's try it again. Let's try another small position. I bought the 41s for next week. I came in small. Let's see if we get a nice turn. We're really close to a stop, so I literally stop this if it confirms a break under 37. But we've gone over our time on the stream. This might even stop me out before I stop here. Let's wait and see. That looks like a final sell there. See some buyers step in. Did Nvidia break 180 yet? No, Nvidia still looks really bullish here, actually. Okay, until get the bounce looks good. I'm gonna ride that out. Really close to the stop. So it's worth it. Now get the nice bounce here. Really nice bounce. That's what I wanted to see. Cool. Looks like that'll be our play. Alright. Sorry it was a boring stream, guys. Oh, my cam's not even working. Is it working? Oh, it's why is my webcam lagging so bad? Okay, whatever. That's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. Like the stream if you watch the stream. I guess real quick, I'll see if there's any questions and I'll answer those real quick before I hop off. Um, is the bubble? The bubble is not popping. The bubble is for sure not popping. Even if we pull all the way back here, I mean, just be mindful, guys. Like, first of all, we're only down 3%, so everyone cried about the market being down is a whiny baby, honestly. If we pull back to 3,400, that's still just a typical 5% pullback, which is very normal for bull markets. And then even if you get 6,000, which is what I think is possible, that's still only 11%. Totally doable in bull markets, does not at all break the thesis. And then when you get down, that's when you get the best bullish catalysts. You know, bulls don't want to bring this market down, but you got to understand, you crush the market here, they'll reopen the government. The Fed will start cutting rates. We might get some quantitative easing. You know, we'll get backstops on the banks. And I mean, this stuff will moon like crazy. So, no, the bubble is not popping. There is so many cards they could pull to launch this stuff higher. I'm shorting the market, but I'm incredibly bullish. Higher highs are coming, without a doubt. So, you know, you post one bearish thing on X and everyone thinks you're a perma bear because they're TikTok brains. They're not, you know, that's your short puts for next week. You must think the market's gonna crash. Whoa! Like, you know, not intelligent thoughts. So that's a symptom of all these crack addicts that are addicted to constantly playing 0 DTEs, and that causes these atypical moves for day-to-day price action, which makes shorting harder. But if you have convictions in a short, you just write it out and watch the longer time frame support. So, but this is definitely for sure not the bubble popping. You know, I'm short KRE. I don't think the banks are gonna go to zero. There could be further banking issues in the future due to the deregulation. You know, the stuff that they repealed after the '08 financial crisis that led to that crisis are back on the table, and that's meant to free up loans for the banks. But you know, everything that's a huge issue still seems like it's being kicked down the road. So I'm not expecting any like a violent end. I'm just looking for a sudden shock to the system, and then for them to come save it and pump it higher. A few Trump tweets and stuff. I mean, already this dude is tweeting like crazy every time this thing's even down 1%. You know, he's also TikTok brained. Honestly, just let it breathe, man. Let it breathe. But yeah, any other questions here? When would you get long Oklo again? That's a good question. When would I get long Oklo again? Here's the thing. I don't know. If you go watch my YouTube videos back in 2019, they're all about nuclear. It's 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 literally just nuclear video after nuclear video after me talking about nuclear after me talking about nuclear, and I was loaded in those names for a while. Uh, and here the only name that I still hold is BWTX, and it's a smaller position. Um, everyone's very excited about Oklo, but this is actually one of the best SMR companies. Hence why it's got such a nice market cap. But I don't buy any of this energy here. I mean, okay, I'll admit this bull flag on GEV looks really good, right? And we got some members that hold it, and I told them it's fine. I think it's fine to hold it. CEG looks fine here too. Honestly, what does the monthly look like? Monthly RSI look like? I mean, that's a little spooky. You're not getting those confirmations. But yeah. If you're in these, I think you can hold them. It's fine. I took profits. I'm not looking at, I guess the better question, well, all right, I'll answer your question directly. When do I get long Oklo? I get long Oklo probably if it can revisit 60, 65. I might try it. And even then, I'm probably pushing it. Because honestly, guys, this thing's a $24 billion market cap. This company has actual revenue, also at SMRs, also has great technology. It's sitting at $18 billion, man. Like, Oklo is insane valuation, not going to be doing anything until 2030. So, that's I mean, in bubbles things can get weird and you can maybe hold it, but I need this thing to get crushed. I need it to go down 70% before I think about putting it back in my portfolio. Because if we're talking, okay, first of all, let me be clear. When we're talking long-term holds, I think in span of 5 years minimum. Okay, and then back in 2019, I mean, I waited 6 years, and then I was up 400% on ZCJ. We still have members that are holding Oklo. They're up like 600% here, and they've sold most of their positions. And I think that is for sure the smart thing to do. And lots of people are feeling a lot of FOMO here, but honestly, two things. It's an extremely noob mistake to want to time the exact high and pitch the pennies on the entries and the exits. Waste of time. Two, price should not be the confirmation for convictions when it comes to investing. Price is a confirmation for trading, okay? And when you do that with investing, you're operating as a trader rather than an investor, which means you're being a moron. And investors will use price as the confirmation for the investment. No, as an investor, you're supposed to buy things when they're cheap. And things when they get cheaper should be more appealing to you, okay? Just think about when you were shopping on Amazon, you saw, you want a new gaming computer on Amazon, and there's a 50% sale. Oh, you're going to buy that immediately, right? It's super exciting. But, these people suck at investing in long-term holding because it's completely flipped, because they have no emotional control. How many YouTubers didn't like Hood at 20 but loved Hood at 116? These aren't smart. These are often smart people, but they're acting like the biggest morons on the planet. All right? So, because they're using price as an emotional confirmation to dictate their actions, but it's not. Fundamentals should lead. And the higher the price is, the more you should dislike it when you're talking about like a long-term hold. And you got to be patient. I might have to wait two years to get Oklo at a price I like. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you right now. The chances I get that price on Oklo are probably almost 100%. And when everyone's FOMOing and energy right now, just be mindful of the fact that like I can't get out of my head after hearing it on a podcast, really smart guy talking about how the price of chips will probably drop faster than the energy demands. So that the cost of the compute will probably become more efficient, and that we are really overestimating how much supply we need in the infrastructure. And there's a lot of that makes so much sense to me. Granted, you can continue to get good earnings for years from now as we build out all this infrastructure. All these big projects take, 2, 3, up to 5 years, and it's already underway, paid for. So, that means you got good earnings for a while when it comes to some of these names. So keep that in mind also when you're thinking about a bubble pop. Like, think about the appropriate time frame for some of this stuff. But just because that's being built out doesn't mean you'll get the price confirmations. Any headline about the price of compute becoming cheaper is a massive bearish catalyst for energy names. And they've got high flying valuations. I'd probably buy those dips, but I'll wait for the narrative to become negative as the prices come down. And then when there's blood in the streets, then I'll buy and I'll hold for several more years. And then when I hear people like the stuff I hold, I'll sell. Don't think about trader if you're an investor. Think literally the exact opposite. And learn to think second, third order type of cause and effects. If you spend, I just wrote a newsletter yesterday, and this is so true. If you spend more time shopping for a pair of shoes than you do purchasing a stock for the long term, you are doing it the wrong fucking way. You are doing everything wrong. I can guarantee you're doing an awful job. And you might feel like a genius because it's a bubble, but honestly, any moron can make up money in the market that only goes up. It's not hard. Any idiot, a monkey could do it. A fish could do it. Quite literally, a fish can do it. Shout out to that YouTube video. It was hilarious. But all right, we got to go though. I don't see any other questions. What's on your head? A headset. Can you look at Hibbs? Hibbs is broken below this wedge again. You got that headline that pumped that thing up, and it literally gave up the full move in 2 days. But Hibbs does not look good here. I am a long-term holder. And I might get some cheaper prices. I'm still in profits here. But a visit to 45 is not out of the question at all. It's totally doable. I'd say most likely here. I might short it. What are the biggest factors you personally use to invest in long term? A thematic. What does everyone like right now? And what does that become later? Well, everyone loves AI? Okay. Well, what does energy do? Everyone likes robotics. Okay, what does that mean for minerals? Minerals are flying high right now. One of the few things I'm still bullish on. A company like MP is a government enforced monopoly. We are becoming a socialist society where the government's actually backing companies, backstopping them, and ensuring they succeed. Under the guy, and it's defended under competitive necessity. And that might be the right thing to do. But when it's no longer a competitive necessity, I doubt they quit doing it, and then it becomes a big problem in the future. But for now, up we go. So that's how you want to think as an investor. You almost never want to be concerned with the now. You want to think about what comes next. You know, what next? So, what does that look like right now? What that looks like right now is just cheaper prices on the long term. So if you're holding stuff, fantastic. Let that stuff continue to print and slowly take profits along the way as it melts up. Is what you want to be doing right now for investing, because pretty much everything is overvalued. Gold and silver, people are saying that's going to collapse and it's a bubble. It's giving you all the momentum confirmations on longer time frames, like it could go higher. But anyways, we've gone on long enough. Yeah. I think that's a good. Okay, the only other thing I'll add for factor is moat. You know, when you're talking about a company that has a competitive advantage, look for a moat. What do they do better than anyone else? And then I'm also a big fan of, what does the management team look like? You know what the crypto guys don't do enough, because honestly, that's probably the most TikTok brain cohort, is they don't look enough at who's running projects. And if you pay attention to like management, or founders rather, because there's still real management. But if you look at founders, the same guy who's good at like forming a culture and social engineering will make like the top, will make like 50% of the top 50 performing crypto meme coins. And the big, look at the big names on crypto. Almost all the big guys have helped or worked with one another at one point. And so, a very small proportion of people dominate most of that space. That's all I got. Hope you found it helpful. Peace out.